man.
Cheers, my guys.
Oh,
Cheers, McGee, man.
To the first episode.
Episode 1, take 432.
It's an honor.
Welcome to GShyt the podcast, episode 1. I'm Rhino.
What was it, episode 1? I am Giovanni. And today,
Giovanni.
we have our guest, Mr. Felipe, a.k.a. Don Flipper, a.k.a. Flipper, a.k.a. Too Big for his own goddamn self.
A.k.a. Free Willy, a.k.a. Flip.
a.k.a. Appa with a motherfucking arrow on his head looking at but Flip, I'll give y'all a brief introduction. This is one of my closest friends, known each other for a very fucking long time. But as the focus is with GShyt, we're here to really talk about the business side of things, pass on some knowledge and stuff like that. So that's going to be our focus today. Hope y'all enjoy.
We go keep it kosher. Y'all stay tuned. And I guess without further ado, Don Flipper, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you from, bro?
What up? So I was born and raised in the suburbs of Chicago, in the west side, the Humboldt Park area. Arguably the most dangerous area of Chicago. I was there my first 13 years of life. Kind of fell into the bullshit as a young kid, and my mom was like, yo, we got to get you out of here. Got us out of there. We went to Florida. I was there till I was about 26. Now I'm in Pittsburgh now.
I think I moved to Tampa when I was like 16. It's kind of weird. What brought you down here? Your mom? She was
My
in
mom,
military,
yeah.
you know?
Nah, my mom was just like, yo, you're changing. You're doing like some crazy shit.
So you hanging around with the wrong crowd and shit?
Wrong crowd, wrong people. And my sister was just a baby. She's
Shout out
crazy.
my dog Rock.
She needed
Bad
to, my dog Rock.
Bad crowd, boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
shit.
just needed to get us out of there. She was just being a good parent. She was like, I don't want
Chicago.
this shit for my kids. But Chicago's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
it ain't easy growing up.
What's
in
a
Chicago.
crazy story from Chicago? I mean, you was only there for a little bit, but maybe you got something that happened. You're like, yeah, we definitely gotta get the fuck out of here.
Do you go
We
back
get some shit.
often?
Probably just, nah, not often. There's a lot of people that like I knew that just can't get a hold of anymore for whatever reasons. They've either passed or they're in jail or something like that,
Yeah.
or they're just missing. But the craziest stories from Chicago, bro, there's a rap sheet of stories, like seeing drive-bys or being part of like some shit that you didn't even know was going on because you were a kid and you realized it later, like, oh shit, you know, like there's some shit like that.
That was a drug deal that was going. That
Yeah,
was a lot of money that was happening.
Also, that's what was in the bag. Like when we tell drug, it's just it's a lot, too much for the air, but enough to get fucking therapy. I'll tell you that shit.
And you in Pittsburgh now?
Pittsburgh
How
now.
you liking that shit?
Yeah, I like it over there a lot. I'm going over there for school, getting a master's over there and a pre-med certificate, and doing research, and doing some business shit out there. So Pittsburgh is treating me good. It's just a little lacking in flavor. Yeah,
I think we just spoiled about Florida, man.
Yeah,
You
we
can
are
speak
spoiled
to
about Florida, big time.
What you mean? What's so spoiling about Florida?
Have you ever? Well, do you want to go back to Detroit?
You going to the beaches yet, bro?
Damn, man.
You ever walk
You
to
got
like
any
a,
plans to go back to Detroit?
Hey,
Hey,
my
no.
motherfucking master plan to go back right now, bro.
you ever been to Odyssey? You been?
Shout out.
Shout out to Tree One Tree.
I'm asking though, cause like I hear people say that all the time, like we so spoiled about Florida, and I get it, cause it's a lot of things I like about Florida, but I feel like what I'm saying, a lot of people move to Chicago for a lot of reasons. People move
Yes.
to New York, people move to LA,
Yeah.
people move
Yeah.
to DC. You know what I'm saying? It's places people go.
Right, yeah.
People leave Detroit.
People don't want to
People
be there.
leave Cleveland.
Hey, my bad, Cleveland.
Hey, why you gotta bring Cleveland?
Yo, fuck Cleveland.
Hey, James.
People leave Pittsburgh too. They leave
Yeah.
Philly. You know what I'm saying? But
You're right.
he went back to that shit.
right.
It was like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like to me, I ain't gonna lie, Florida hands down been like place that like, if not in the future, I was gonna definitely be like, all right, I'm coming back to retire here,
Right.
or I want to be in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I came here early because of my
Right.
dad, but like, what's so special about Florida to y'all?
Shit. So to comment on that, I think a lot of people leave Florida to go to like the bigger cities like Chicago or Pittsburgh or stuff like that, just for opportunity. But in terms of culture, we're definitely spoiled over here because I can go down the street and there's like 5 or 6 supermercados I can go buy some things from. There's fruterias, there's like Latin stuff like that. Like it's just missing. Pittsburgh don't have that culture diversity there.
They have
It's
their own
either-
culture.
They have their own culture, which is different from my culture, which is what I'm comfortable with. And when I'm in the most comfortable in my natural environment, it's just like I don't know. I just feel like I'm like spoiled. Like this is what I know. This is what I.
You don't gotta get
what
out of
I'm
your
used
comfort zone
to.
for
I don't
nothing,
get
'cause
out
everywhere.
Nah. And plus the culture out here is like pretty dope, bro. Honestly, compared
diversity
to
we
the
have here in
diversity
Florida,
over here, yeah, bro. It's niggas from New York, it's from Chicago, it's from here. They all get together. It's just like You get a little bit of everything over
I feel
there.
like
It's
that's why
just
a lot of
it's
shit
that.
happens here, though. Like, you think about, like, you know, great places for people to be at. You think of, like, California, giant melting pot. New York,
Yeah.
giant melting pot.
No,
Florida,
for
giant
sure,
melting pot.
For sure. Pittsburgh.
It ain't their fault, you know.
That bitch
everybody
ain't
growing
melting
up,
yet.
bitch
That bitch
ain't
ain't
it.
even, bitch ain't even preheated. That shit's just there.
No, but that bitch ain't pretty.
freezing
I ain't gonna lie, I want to visit. I've never been to Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So
It's
I
nice.
visit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I was super hyped to go to DC. You know, everybody talk about DC. I was super hyped to go to DC, and that shit turned out to be kind of odd because I was like, damn, I couldn't imagine myself living in a place that don't have the same diversity. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to Chicago. I was like, you know, Chicago, you hear about this shit, you know what I'm saying? This shit gotta be dope as fuck. I know it's a ton of shit to do around here.
Yeah.
And you get there, and you're like, this shit really just a city. But like when you in
Pretty
Florida,
much.
you feel like you in paradise, like you at the beach.
Honestly.
It's sunny all the fucking time.
Amusement parks after
Bars
amusement park,
everywhere.
Bars everywhere. Yes, bro.
Anywhere
so
you
much
go, bro.
shit.
That's true.
There's
a lot of
so much
diversity.
stuff. There's so much businesses constantly running.
Bro, you just drive down International Drive. You can spend a whole day on like a block. You know what I'm saying? Like over there in Pittsburgh, you got it's like one little
Niggas stay
music.
on the block.
That's what I'm saying. Niggas live on the block. Like, hey, this is my area. Like,
You know, I remember when I went to go visit Felipe. He had every time I looked out the window, every morning I look out, and he had the same neighbor who was on the porch every fucking day. Like no matter what, she would just sit there all fucking day and just
That
people
shit-
watch the whole damn day.
that shit just get old. Yeah, that's where I live.
You plan on coming back to Florida?
Honestly, bro, the way that I want my career to plan out, that's just gonna be for 13 more years of school and residency. But yeah, it's a lot. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But where I want to start my career, I'm probably retired and back home in Puerto Rico. You know,
Puerto
yeah,
Rico.
I really want to get connected with my roots. A lot of property is really cheap out there. You know, granted, they're hit by natural disasters a lot, but if you maintain and you have the capital for it, and you just want to, the impact that I want to make over there, their healthcare system is shit, and they need doctors. They're the number one U.S. property that needs doctors. And me being Puerto Rican and doing what I'm doing, I have to go there.
You know what the second most needed territory?
I think it's here.
Of medical assistance.
I think it's here in Florida.
Why
No,
the fuck you laughing?
Florida.
I can tell you set some shit up.
Florida.
I think
New
it's
York.
Detroit.
Oh shit.
No,
Is it
bullshit.
really?
I
The
honestly
motherfucking
don't know.
Cleveland.
Oh no, man, it ain't none of that place.
How y'all keep pairing? Why Detroit and Cleveland gotta get paired together? Like, what's?
I actually don't. I think Cleveland's in his own fucking category. To be honest.
I was just going with this nigga. Honestly,
Detroit, Cleveland too, bro.
I thought it was the roast session. I was like, oh wait, I'm out the loop.
Oh!
God
Fuck
damn.
somebody up. About to fuck somebody up today. Let's go back to some of those because a lot of this shit is business focused. To give you guys a little bit of intro, we all met in Tampa. Shit, how many years ago now?
That's 6.
Whoa.
7 years ago, I think. About
No,
2013, probably,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
probably 2013.
I wasn't 21 when I met y'all. No, I was about like 23, 24, so about like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, no, because I graduated from there in 2014. So it had to been before that.
Yeah,
It was senior year.
2013, I
So it
think.
would have been 2013, 2014.
Bitch, that was 7 years ago.
Yeah, man. So we
My
met.
nigga.
Hey, we hitting 10 years soon.
Yeah,
What's up? Fuck that nigga.
This shit family time.
believe it.
Oh shit.
A lot of the shit that we made our decisions on really based off of going to
7
college and just taking it from there. Like it almost seemed like the world was kind of small at one point, and then we started realizing it was a little bit big, at least for me. And I think that Flip did a really good job of, like, first he actually took some time off after he graduated high school. He didn't go to university right away. And I think that that's something that's very beneficial personally, because I fucking hated my first year.
Had to.
And then when he came in, he was like, "Oh shit, all this shit I like, I can motherfucking make these connections." And Flip got invested into a lot of different things. So I'll let him kind of talk about those things.
Man, so during my undergrad, well, when I first got to USF, I already had my associates, so I had 2 years like under my belt. But I didn't really know the path that I wanted to do. I went into USF declaring psychology. I was like, wait a minute, I want to. That was back when I was still like heavy into music therapy, and I was like, I kind of want to play the piano for the rest of my life. I kind of want to like teach piano. Bro, the shit that I was trying to do before I even got into medicine, I always knew like I had a knack for the sciences, but I didn't really dive deeper into my sciences until I got to USF. And when I got to USF and I took Orgo and I took Gen Chem, I took all that shit, that's when I was like, I have a passion for this shit. I gotta change my major. So I changed my major, but I didn't want to drop psych, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do both. Why not? So I double majored in psych. The other major was in biomed. And when I was taking these biomed classes, I took medical botany. And from there, I started to like dive into a little bit of like marijuana research, on a personal level, and just like reading a whole bunch of shit. And that's when I learned about extractions.
We're not gonna gloss over the fact that you said personal research. Nigga. That shit, you was a pothead, man.
Bro, I was it's a little bit of personal.
Like, when talking about personal research, yo, stupid ass.
I got into the medical botany, you know what I'm saying?
Did a little bit of personal experimenting, you know what I'm saying? Shit, speaking
of.
Like,
Flip, what you doing? He said research.
I'm about to show y'all how a nigga was researching real quick. Got the little hip man. So I really got into the the medical botany class, and I learned about like different phenols and different molecules and like how they're on plants, and like 80% of the medicine that we have in today's world is all extracted from plants. So I was like,
absolutely. Bet.
Learned about delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, learned about cannabidiol, and I was like, this is the shit.
He said cannabis, basically.
The two molecules that really make it up.
He said cannabis.
So I got invested in the CBD industry. I really loved weed. I didn't really like being that high, and I had a lot of like clients that were like, a lot of like potential clients that were like, yeah, I love weed, but I just don't like getting high. And then I got into the CBD business. Then I was in the sneaker business before that, but then when I got into the CBD business, I met some sneaker heads, and I invested in some. They started off at a kiosk, and I invested some money into them, and now they have like 2 big ass stores in Tampa. So I collect residual income from that shit. Then like from there, bro, I felt invincible. I just felt like, man, I could start anything. I could do anything. Then I got involved with taxes. Then I got involved with the food industry and stuff like that. It's just the momentum just kept building up. I stayed open minded. Any opportunity that came to me, I took it, and I was like, man, I could do this shit.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. I know when I started, nigga, I was like, we got 4 years to say what, nigga? Deciding what time, bitch? Deciding what you gotta do for the next 4 years ain't no easy feat, man.
Nah.
But like a lot of people think you go figure that shit out 4 years down the road. You go be like, all right, yeah, when I come out of this shit, I got something waiting for me at the end. Like, you gotta make that shit no matter what it is. I feel like you've been definitely doing that shit. So
thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I've been trying, and I've been staying open minded. Shit, bro. The plan that I had going into USF and how it's worked out now. Completely different. I'm supposed to be in Europe studying fucking.
I was about to say, even like halfway through the medical stuff,
that shit changed.
He was like, "Yo, G, I'm gonna be in Amsterdam next year. Come holler at me,
man.
fake ass motherfucker."
Like, I'm about to be out because like I'm about to apply for a residency, and they got a program that'll take me as a foreigner and blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do this shit like no more." Man. And then
shit funny. He mentioned that fucking botany shit. I know USF had the smallest fucking garden, bro. I used to be like, man, I want to take all of it to this motherfucking botany spot, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then you get
the botanical gardens you talking about, that bitch?
The botanical garden.
Yeah,
and you walk, you know what I'm saying? You walk around that bitch about 2 times. You're like, man, this is
what the fuck is this?
We done saw the bees, nigga. We know you ain't doing shit.
Buy our local honey.
I haven't seen the bees. I ain't got no ass though.
But you take your shorty for a tour, you gonna walk around 2 laps in 5 minutes. You're like, all right, so
nigga, we got a whole different wave. She's like, yeah, I'm into art and like flowers. And
check this out.
Flowers. I know a great place for that.
I got you. She think we about to go somewhere. I'm in my hot thing.
Here,
bitch. We here.
It's right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Bitch, you ain't got to zoom out to take a picture. It's right there. You got the whole shit right there.
You guys found a nice little spot in the botanical gardens? No, this is the botanical gardens. This is the whole picture right here.
This is the botanical oasis.
You get into the spirit world from this motherfucker. You just got to hit some Avatar shit.
That's funny as fuck.
That's the greatest show ever, by the way. We can talk about that later.
For real.
Damn. I fucked up.
Hoo-wee. We also got some art stuff. Felipe definitely got some art in his background. Playing instruments from being a little jit. Playing the piano. Find out how does that fit in with everything else? Like you mentioned school, you mentioned your businesses, you mentioned your side businesses, and now you're like, all right, cool. I still have a passion for music. It's something that comes from, obviously our backgrounds, being Hispanic, being Latino.
So how does that fit in?
How does that fit in,
bro? So when I went to Pittsburgh, I made like major noise, and then when I started making noise, like people reached out to me and shit. So there was this like Latino band that was starting up called Caribe Song, and they needed a pianist because their pianist was on the green card.
They needed what?
A pianist.
Okay, that was just something.
My bad. They needed a pianist, And the pianist, their lead pianist was on like a Visa card or something like that. It was about to expire. So I was like, oh shit. So I pulled up and they're like, oh, you want to be part of the band? You're pretty decent. All you got to do is learn the chords. I was like, shit, I'll be part of the band. So I'm also part of a Latino band out there. We haven't really had a lot of like practice and shit like that because of COVID, but how do I fit that shit in, bro? Whenever I'm stressed or relief, I tap into the shit that used to set my soul on fire.
Yeah,
just to get that
went on
shit.
a little binge recently, I remember.
Yeah, honestly, bro, I was like a week or 2 weeks straight. I was like, yo, send me a request on IG. I'll listen to it for an hour and then I'll play it. Yeah. And then I was just like 2 weeks. Niggas was sending me requests. Yo, let me hear that John Legend. Let me hear that Music Soul Child. Let me hear that Adele. I was like,
I bet you won't play Neo. You
like, yeah, let me hear that Neo. I was like, bet.
So you actually nice at the piano. That's
I'm decent. Yeah, the way that I operate is that you show me a song. In about like an hour and a half, I can learn the majority of it.
You know how to read music too?
I'm not that good at reading music. That's the thing. Yeah.
You hear it.
I just hear it.
Damn.
I hear it. You can teach how to. Yeah, you can teach how to read music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like to listen to that shit. Like that's
crazy.
Someone came over to my house one time. I was like, bro, you heard this new Roddy Ricch backseat?
Oh yeah.
About 10 minutes later, I was playing that shit on the piano.
Yeah, I was teaching him how to play it.
That's a classic ass beat, bro.
Yeah,
and that shit new as fuck, but that shit fire.
But he came out with like bangers when he came out, dog. He had the motherfucking what was that first song? That stupid ass little hook in it. I can't stand it, dog. The box. Yeah. I hate that shit. I ain't gonna lie, but shit caught fire. And then backseat, I thought came out right after that.
Yeah, backseat my shit. The piano shit, is that something that like you tie into like your other interests, or is this something that like you do as a hobby?
Definitely as a hobby, but when I first started like my whole college thing, back when I was at Southeastern, I studied music therapy. That was going to be my shit. So my original career plan was I was going to be a psychologist and like listen to like niggas' problems and shit. And I was going to play music while they were doing that and like, kind of like record a track to like, I don't know.
Trying to be everybody producer. Like, put your paint on the track, bro.
Yeah. You would be like, oh, what you trying to like, how do you feel right now? And I would play them something that kind of like counteracts their spirit if they're coming, they're obviously coming at me with some kind of negativity. So I would play something that would make them feel a little bit more nostalgic to kind of like release these hormones, so that way it will counteract their depression or something like that. That was my first thing. And before that, like one of my first toys that I ever got for Christmas was a motherfucking Charlie Brown piano.
A mofongo?
That shit every Monday.
So that shit was
Mofongo
Monday. So that's
Charlie Brown piano.
Charlie Brown piano,
Charlie
bro.
Brown piano.
You know that nigga from Charlie Brown, Lionel, bro. That nigga be pulling up like
describing it that way. That makes sense.
Bam, 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 bam. Every episode, bro, and all the niggas dancing like.
How does that make it a Charlie Brown piano though? Like what makes it a Charlie Brown piano?
It was the Peanuts piano. It wasn't Charlie Brown like the nigga. It was the piano that Lionel used to have, and he would just walk around with that bitch, like just sit down, play that shit. And like everybody would get loose as shit, like on the credits and shit. So that was one of my first things, and I just
loose ass shoulders, nigga.
And every time, but that was like one of my only toys. So I was just playing with that shit, and that's my release. That's like my go-to. Feeling stressed, piano. Wake up in the morning, piano. Feeling like I need to get something on my chest, piano. So that's not only a hobby, it's also a profession because I'm in that band, and it's also a release because it's just always there. I need that shit to like reach equilibrium again. You know what I'm saying?
Like that personal research.
Personal medic grass. Shit, bro.
Before y'all think this motherfucker done, you got any pets, Felipe?
I do have pets. I have awesome pets. I have 2 chinchillas. Their names are, Timothy and Camilla. Just like Timothy and Camilla. They're an adorable couple. They fell in love immediately. I've had them for 5 years. They've had about 25 babies. And I got them because they were, I found out they were critically endangered. I was watching a commercial one time. And I was like, what the fuck is that? literally did some research, found out what it was. The next fucking morning, I went on Craigslist and I bought one.
Start calling people and shit.
Yeah, the next morning, I woke up. I was like, yo, you got the chinchilla still? Bet. Like, can we meet up today? I got cash in hand. And then, like, 3 months after that, I was shopping for a cage for him. And I saw a Craigslist ad or OfferUp ad that had just got posted 14 minutes ago. And they're like, oh, a perfect chinchilla cage may come with a furry surprise. I was like, okay, cool. Called her. I was like, yo, you got this cage for sale? Yeah. What's the furry surprise? A female chinchilla. Okay, how much for the cage? $20. Does it come with the chinchilla? Yeah. I need her out my hands.
Damn.
So I was like, okay. let's meet today. I got cash in hand, like always. So she pulls up. I see the female chinchilla brought her inside to the boy, and she was very aggressive, very territorial because bro, she was mad aggressive. Bro. She came from a household that had 3 dogs, 2 cats, like 4 birds, 3 kids.
Like,
she was the only chinchilla in the cage, and all of them were like fucking with her and shit, you know. So I let her out, let him out, and she was mad aggressive. She was biting him and shit. But my nigga was a real ass nigga. And he took all the bites. He took all the scratches, and he was like, you know what? You the only motherfucking chinchilla I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna let this shit slide, and you gonna fall in love with me. And they're in love, and they've been inseparable since. They had a lot of babies since, and
that shit.
we are trying to repopulate the chinchilla population because motherfuckers be killing them shits just for fucking.
Sound like Carol Baskin, man.
just for some motherfucking coats and shit. But yes,
coats, man.
Do have amazing pets. They're in love with each other, and they're my heart and soul. Emotional support animals, they're registered as.
Yes, they are.
Shit crazy. You just went full circle. You talked about like psychology classes, music therapy. That shit at the center never really left medicine. You talk about, 13 years in school now. What has that journey been like?
It's been tiring, very confusing, at least in the beginning. But once I figured out this is what I want to do, it was just full throttle. Just on the go, on the go.
Once you know your purpose, it's hard to not do anything else.
It don't even feel like, when I hear I got 13 years to go, I'm not even like, fuck, I got 13 years left to go. I'm like, bet these are going to be the greatest 13 years of my life because I'm about to learn a whole bunch of shit that I never even knew, and I'm always down for learning. I'm always down for challenges. And I'm about to start interacting with people that I could literally save their life. So that gives me the ultimate refreshing feeling. But it wasn't easy, my guy, especially learning about how much money it's going to take, how much time it's going to take, and still trying to balance out the shit that makes me happy on a personal level outside of school.
Because you hear about med school, it's just like motherfuckers pulling their hair out all-nighter.
It's a whole nother demon. That's why I'm setting myself up now on my business adventures now, because I'm trying to collect residual income while I'm doing that shit. Everything's going to be hands-free. Everything's going to be making money for itself, so that way when I graduate, I can open up a clinic right off the back. I got money for that shit. You know,
you don't gotta be like, oh man, I gotta work.
I gotta get these loans. I gotta work at this hospital. Nah, we're coming in and we're shaking the health industry, bro. Backed up by research on medical marijuana,
and then going back
alternative medicine,
backed by personal research.
Alternative medicine. You're gonna get the best weed in Puerto Rico and El Yunque, and we just gonna shake the room. That's all the fuck we know how to do.
Shake the room.
Motherfucker, just watch Step Up 3D.
Who watched Step Up 3D? That's my motherfucking
You?
show where I bust ass.
You Magic Mike liking ass nigga.
It's a great series, but it was a trilogy, wasn't it?
So, you tell me.
Right.
Better than Lord of the Rings.
I was like,
motherfucking Magic Mike. This is my only Magic Mike. This is my baby right here. I love you, baby.
Hey.
Oh, this is gonna be my shit for the rest. So people look at you, they be like, "Damn, Flip, you ain't got enough hours in the day."
For real.
What would you say to that?
Yes, I do. You just gotta have good people on your team, really. I have a couple people that handle some of the big shit for me on like different ventures. You know, that real close friends, pay them well, and they treat me well with respect. I trust them, and they trust me. And I just handle the shit that absolutely needs my attention. And I sleep about 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day on the regular. As soon as I wake up, bro, I hit the floor running. It's a routine every day. You know, there's meetings at a certain time. I got gym at certain times. Like there's time in the day, bro. It's 24 hours in the fucking day. I sleep about 5 or 6 of them. And if you don't get distracted, and if you don't get caught up on the shit that's going on, like social media and all that shit, you're gonna make it work.
For sure.
Always make it work.
And you alluded to half of these businesses. You got a lot of hustles. What's your hustles, and like you could list them out for us?
So aside from flipping CBD and like flipping sneakers, boutique clothing, people hit me up like, yo, I got like a closet full of shit that I gotta sell. Can you come grab this from me? I hold on to that shit. I sell that shit.
Yeah.
I recently got into the food industry.
Talk about the taxes?
Yeah,
Recently.
Yeah, I was working in the tax business for 2 years, and then the company that I was working for, I didn't really agree with them, so I was like, I'm gonna just do my own shit. Like, I know what the fuck is going on. I know what the fuck I gotta do.
That's one thing I like to pause on real quick, because a lot of people feel like, you know, they go into a job, you do the bare minimum, you get your paycheck, you leave. Whereas especially in this example, most examples, honestly, especially with Felipe, you can see how he went into a job that anybody would consider, oh, you know, this may be a part-time job, this may be a summer job, this may be just some bullshit. He was like, I'm gonna learn as much as I possibly can while I'm here. And you know what? After 2 years of messing with this stuff, I know how to do it.
Right.
Why the hell don't I just do it? It's literally after that, it's just creating the business. It's understanding what software you need. It's making sure your money's lined up right.
Yep.
You know, paying the right people to do the right things, spending your money on the right time. But it's putting your time into the things that matter most. Like even something that could have meant nothing to him. He could have taken that, kept moving,
Right.
and it would have never popped up again.
And it did mean nothing to me in the beginning. Like you said, it was just a part-time job. I got recruited, you know, because I'm a fairly smart guy. And they're like, yo, you good with numbers? I was like, bro, math and algebra, calculus, that's my shit. And they're like, well, we're going to teach you how to learn
Research
classes.
all day, bro. I'm good at it.
And when I went there, it was like, oh, we can help people get back money that get cheated from the IRS. I was like, great, I fucking love people. You know, that shit like set my soul on fire. I can help people get back like, you know, money without any fraudulent work back. But the company just, their priorities they were more focused on the money. They weren't focused on the people. So I was like, I'm going to start my own shit, focus on the people, not focus on the money. And the people's going to bring me the money because they're going to bring me more people. You know what I'm saying? And from that, like, that took off of that. Then I teach piano lessons on the side. You know, the food industry, like I do catering, I do meal prep, I sell food on the side. Like, it's just, there's a million different ways to get it, boy.
Hey, shout out to Secretos de mi abuelos.
Secretos de mis abuelos coming soon, bro. I got that food truck on deck. And that was another opportunity. Just came knocking on my fucking window.
Taco. I figured y'all said some shit. I had to get into the mic and say some
We
shit
appreciate you, Ryan.
You
We
know what I'm
appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's about all I do for bread, though.
And so, like, it's kind of weird because, like, none of your businesses, like, seem to intermingle, but there had to be inspiration to, I guess, be on this entrepreneurial path. Was it, like, med school? Was that what it was? Like, you know, I need this money. So, or was it, like, generational wealth for, like, you know, your idea of creating?
I think I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Shit, bro. So, it all started, like, with my passion for shoes. I, like, you know, being born and raised in Chicago, around during the Jordan era, Jordans was the shit, and then Kanye West is from Chicago, so Yeezys was the shit. So I fell in love with that shit, bro. But then, like,
you skipped the whole generation, nigga. Fat Farm, Reebok, Feelers, nigga.
One part all, nigga.
Hey, K-Swiss, bro.
I was going to
Hey,
Raccoon.
Starberries, boy.
Yeah, bro. I was getting starved. Yeah, bro. But fuck all that shit.
G-Units.
You gotta go skip over classics, nigga. Baby Fat, nigga. Fat Farm.
Yo, Felines had some dope with a little switch on the side, but they were high tops. That was dope, man.
Yeah, I just
coming back, bro.
never could afford that shit, bro. My mama got me the fucking. You can go to Skechers. You got $60. Get as many pairs as you can.
Yo, I used to get the shoes from Costco.
People don't realize Skechers is the, like, number 1, number 2 selling shoe brand.
Shit.
Of all, like,
Yeah,
period, bro.
they really are. They really, really, really
They
are.
ain't the most popular. Niggas ain't about to be like,
Not the
yeah,
freshest
nigga.
ones. Like,
We
yeah,
on
I
the
got
most
these.
feet, though.
Nigga, check out my
They ain't some good looking
Shaqs.
feet,
nigga.
but you know what I'm saying? They own the most
Like, if
feet.
somebody really try to roast you, you be like, bet, let's walk around this school right now and see how many other motherfuckers. You gonna find a lot of people with some Skechers on their feet, bro.
That's why he
Straight
ain't
up.
lying about that shit, man.
So the businesses don't intermingle, but man, the way I fell in love with everything that I was doing, and I found a way how to make money out of it. When I realized that there's a supply, there's a demand, and you just got to find a way how to, like, capitalize, be in the middle, be the plug for that. I fell in love with flipping kicks, and that I never felt like I was working whenever I was recruiting for shoes, or whenever people hit me up, I had to dig in my bag. It always felt like an investment. I love smoking weed, but I didn't really like getting that high because it made me lazy, unconcerned, blah blah blah. But then I was like, you know, there's a little bit of therapeutic effect if you were to separate the two molecules. So I fell in love with that. And then I love cooking. I fell in love with cooking, and that shit came knocking on my door. I love numbers. That shit came knocking on my door.
Yep.
So they don't intermingle, but it's all shit that I love, and I'm never exhausted from them. I never feel defeated. It's literally, I never feel like I'm working a day in my life. I literally just love the shit that I do, and I took a chance on myself when I was young. I was like, I'm done working, bro. Like, I if I could focus my time. There's so many times I was at work and my phone was getting blown up. I was like, bitch, if I wasn't working this fucking 10-hour shift for $12.50 an hour, I could be, you know what I'm saying? All these connections and shit like that. So I quit my job. I took a chance on myself, never looked back.
It's crazy,
You know what I'm saying?
bro.
Now I'm giving people jobs. It feels great. It feels amazing. You know, not to boast, not to be
Show
like,
them
yeah,
the
I'm the
way.
shit, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now I could be like, yo, take a chance on yourself type shit. Like, if I could do it, you can do it. You know, I came from a hard ass background. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people who don't have that shit.
Bitch, I'm 6'5", I'm ugly, I had a concussion, bitch. Don't know my
Got all these ugly ass tattoos, bitch. Shit don't make no sense. Just like my career choice don't make my business don't make sense. This shit don't make sense. Hey.
Like he said though, and that's what I think about. I was about to say, yeah, Felipe's just gonna say he loved everything he do. Truly, you know what I'm saying? People can say I love an aspect of what I do, or I figure out how to make it work. He's like, I like food. I'm gonna sell food. Yep. I like these chinchillas. They gonna breed. Let's give somebody else some chinchillas.
There you
so
go.
They can see how great they are. Let's repopulate. You know, make some money off them too on the side because you have to.
I mean, a lot of people get lost in the sauce, bro. You be like, damn, what the fuck do I really love? Like, what do I really like to do? Like, you know, when you lose your passion, you go find yourself working for somebody off rip. You know what I'm saying?
It's somebody else's passion too.
It's gonna be somebody else's passion, either something somebody else is interested in or something somebody else took a chance on. And a lot of people, I feel like, you know, they get that fear, like, you know, if I fail, you know, what that's gonna look like. When in reality, all the wheels and gears are go spin. You just gonna have to fix them as you go along. You know what I'm saying? You might have to change them out or whatever. This is an analogy.
That's the piece that I feel like people don't talk about the most, though. They're just like, you know, you see pregame or something like that, and then you see him go off for 40. You're like, oh, yeah. They just this, you know, layup lines, and obviously you're gonna drop 40 after that.
Obviously, before the game. Like,
but motherfuckers don't understand, like. You know, he didn't just say, "Oh, I know how to play this piano. Let's do it." Like, he had to practice for a very fucking long time before he understood how to play the piano. He had to do a lot of research before he bought that chinchilla. You can't just buy a chinchilla and let it sit around. Them motherfuckers eat weird ass shit that bounce off the walls. Like he does his research. What I'm saying.
He said he saw an infomercial with the chinchilla.
Yeah, bro. My pet was struggling for the first 2 weeks I had that bit. I did not know what to do with that shit, bro. The first 2 weeks when I bought him, I was like, all right, how do I take care of you, my nigga? Yeah. Like, what do you eat?
Talk back
like,
to me.
Oh shit, you don't fucking. Damn, I gotta get you some hay. The fuck I get some hay at?
Hey.
You start bailing me.
Sound like the motherfucking plants in there I killed, nigga. I was like,
Straight up.
Take care of a succulent, nigga. I thought these bitches was self-sufficient, bro. Nigga, 2 weeks later, the bitches was dried up and dead as fuck, nigga.
You gotta show some kind of love, man.
I was like, damn, bro, this is a motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit took a lot of work. I did not snap my fingers, did my step, you know, did it all by myself. And fucking woke up.
Snap my fingers.
Get my step. I can do it all by myself. Let me see you do it.
Bro, it took so many long nights. So many nights I went to bed at 4 a.m. and I woke up at 7 because I had school at 8 and then I had to do this and then I had to do this. Too many countless nights where I was just like, I need to sleep, but I also need to learn this piece and I need to learn this recipe. I need to do that because if I do that, something great is going to happen. And I had that. Sometimes I didn't even know I was up that late. Sometimes I didn't even know I didn't eat. You know, it's just like, I was like, fuck, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
When you having fun sometimes.
Yeah, bro, and I would just get so into it. And that's how I knew I needed to keep doing that, and I can eventually create the demand and the supply for it, and I can do what I want.
That's real. It's crazy.
Feeling it.
You ever heard of you know how people say you gotta have 7 sources of income or whatever? Was that also like an idea, or is just like this shit just started to pile up? Like, you know, because for me, like, I'm one of the people that's like trying to find the shit that I'm passionate about again. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, like, you hear it, like, you know, have 7 different sources of income minimal. You know what I'm saying? Chase your, like, it's weird because like you hear, first time I've ever heard, you know, chase your efforts, not your passions. Like the things that you've already been doing, keep putting effort into that. Like you go get where you going. And Mark Cuban said that. He said, chase your efforts, not your passions, because obviously, like, you know, some things you can monetize if it's a hobby. Some things you go chase because, you know, you love to do it, and some things you've just been doing so long that that's where you probably should put your energy.
Yeah. Some things you want to keep them a hobby too. You know, like I remember my art teacher once told me, she was like, my daughter is the greatest artist I've ever known in my life. She don't make no money off of it. She was like, she don't want to. She's like, if I gotta start working to do this, I might not love it. Yeah. You know, so there's certain things you gotta keep to yourself too, and there's certain things where you can understand where your efforts have been going.
Right. I feel like it could be a mindset thing though, right? Like because if you don't look at, like, for you, I'm sure like none of the things that you love or you passionate about ever feel like work.
Never. They never do. Seriously, I was giving y'all a brief description of my day. Wake up at this time, go here, go there, do that, and I'm just throughout the whole day, I'm energized and I'm happy as shit. I might get a little stressed out of the situation when shit don't work out my way. Hey, I'm human, you know, shit happens. But at the end of the day, I just gotta like count my blessings, count my losses, keep it moving, because I know if I keep going down on this path, you know, as more shit keeps popping up, something is gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might have to drop something in order for something to accelerate, but I knew, like, if I just continue on that path, like it's just gonna work itself out. I'm never stressing. I'm always one day at a time. How can I conquer this day? And if I have that mentality every day, I'm eventually conquer my life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's what keeps me going.
Too real. That's lit, nigga. Hey, nigga,
kinda
listen.
like that.
Just keep going. If you don't know what your passion is yet, just think about what sets your soul on fire and just start researching that shit. All it takes is a Google search, a YouTube video, taking tips from a mentor, or just like just getting into it like yourself. Like you want to learn how to ride a bike, get your ass on a motherfucking bike.
A lot of people, a lot of people are stingy with information, but there's also a lot of information out there. So I feel like trying to play the mentor game is kind of hard because you're trying to find somebody that you trust, somebody that trusts you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas then you look at like, you know, a lot of the resources and shit out there, you be like, damn, bro, like this should tell me how to do exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
But what's the catch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Whenever I feel like there's always a catch, or whenever I feel like I hit a roadblock or some shit like that, man, I just hit that fucking UE and see like, all right, well, where did I go wrong? Obviously, like for example, boxing. I recently took up boxing, right? I had reached out to a personal trainer. I was like, yo, man, like I really want to get into boxing. Blah blah. He's like, okay, what's your background? None. I took boxing class when I was little.
Chinchillas. Nah, I mean like fighting.
Like, I'm Puerto Rican. Does that help?
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah. And he was like, no, that's not good enough. I only train professional fighters. You know, like I was like, please, man, I'll give you money. Like if you train professional fighters, even better, because I just want to, you know, I just want to learn from the best. And he was like, sorry, kid, gotta go. Hung up on me, you know. So I was like, damn, that could have been it for me. I could have just been like, it's just whatever. But I had that roadblock. There was a little, you know, turn that bitch around. Like, okay, well, let me go somewhere where they will be a little bit more welcoming. So I found this gym that offered classes. Shout out to Level Red Boxing in Pittsburgh. And they were like, hey, you know,
you're not sponsored by Level Red.
Not sponsored yet.
Shout out.
But they were like, you know, yeah, sign up, take the classes. You know, we'll take our time with you. We'll teach you the basics at the beginning. I was like, cool, this is perfect. And then from there, I met some really good trainers that have a really good background. I was like, hey, man, like, you know, you think if I keep going with these classes, I learn this shit, you'll take me on as whatever? And they said, yeah. So like I said, a lot of people would have gave up on the first try, but it's all about having that resilience and that perseverance and just continuing to like, fuck, I really, really, really want to learn this boxing. I really want to whatever. I reached out to the top, and they were like, nah. So if the top told me nah, all these motherfuckers in the middle are gonna be like, nah. But I found someone that took me in, and that passion never went away. And then from there, I found somebody else who was at the top, if not higher. You know, he has his own gym in the north side, 30 minutes from me, and I'll be pulling up there once in a while learning shit from him. So perseverance is key, man. And never getting discouraged whenever you hear a no.